can't take it. And when someone says no to me, I just have to get my way. So
Abel was on a 4th date when he was 22 years old, and the girl said no. He's like, no. He's just like, no.
No, actually, I'm proposing.
All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of Mislabeled. I am not trying to count anymore, Zach.
We get it wrong every time.
Every time we get it wrong. First of all, I want to thank everyone for, we're getting in the results. We're shooting this about 48 hours after the Leah Forster episode has come out. Numbers have been fantastic. I want to thank everyone for your support, truly listening. I appreciate all the messages. I'm sure Zach does as well as Shmuley. If you're watching this and you appreciate the work we're doing, please like, subscribe, and Zach,
comment.
Exactly.
Comment below.
We forget to do this every single pod, so I'm saying it clearly. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Now, if you don't, you're probably just a taker and your marriage is just going to suffer because you just take from people. I'm just kidding. But I'm also serious. That being said.
It's like a dark turn.
That being said, Shmuley, how are you?
I feel like a celebrity right now. I feel like you guys are interviewing me. I'm just like, is this what people feel like on Mislabeled? Wow.
Shmuley Warren, I have gotten a lot of people reaching out to me. Where is Sam? The comments on YouTube, where is Sam, with multiple likes on them. People asking me, friends, where's Shmuley? Zach, have you got any of that?
I've gotten 2 people who asked me. One of them was my own cousin. He's like, is everything all right with Shmuley?
Yeah. People are definitely curious. So, Shmuley, you wanna explain yourself, please?
Yeah, so 2 things. Don't make me blush, guys, number 1. Number 2, normally when I do go in hiding, it's for depressive reasons. This one is the opposite. Like, I have work, a steady job, and it's been for good reasons, but I want to really say that I really appreciate, like, I saw the comments, Label sent them to me. I also was watching a couple of the episodes myself as like a Mislabeled listener. First of all, you guys killed it on the Forster pod. Leah, first of all, Leah, shout out to Leah. Shout
out Leah.
Awesome.
I know.
He's awesome. Like,
probably my favorite guest.
Like, we
don't say who's favorite because then someone else is going to be upset. Leah, you were great, and everyone else was great too.
Hide with everyone.
Leah, we love you.
Like, yes. I've always said that I don't understand how people listen to me for, my friends can listen to me for 5 minutes. How could you listen to me on Mislabeled for an hour and a half? And I literally, when I watch, like, Label asked me, rewatch the episode just, for like review, Chazara, whatever, And I always have like a tough time. I'm like, okay, this one, I'm literally just in my bed as a viewer. Hour, like, it went by like nothing.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable, guys.
Love that.
Yeah.
Okay?
Thank you.
But going back to it, I really appreciate it. I did get a lot of the love. And I haven't felt this wanted since I came back into my parents' home from high school between 9th and 11th grade for every yontif, and the internet slowed down. And my parents would interview and be like, why is the internet going slow, Shmuley? And I'm just like, I have no clue. I don't know.
Amazing.
Run away.
Amazing. That's funny. Zach, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I love drinking Red Bull at 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah,
Smart move.
It is a little late, and we actually have a flight out to Miami tomorrow morning early. We are interviewing in person a very, for me, exciting guest, that's for sure. I think other people will like the guest we have lined up as well. Yeah, I think one thing that's been missing from this pod, we've been doing a lot of great interviews, really, and I speaking to a lot of really interesting people, and people who have interesting experiences, and it's one of the main reasons that I started this pod. That is the truth. Yeah. That being said, Zach, myself, Shmuley, we also have a little bit of personalities. So I feel like that is the piece that's in a way getting like left out. People don't really know who we are as much,
Yeah, well, Label, I think what you're trying to say to the people is, it's very nice that we got like good stories about all these really fascinating, interesting people, Jews and non-Jews alike, that we've been able to interview. But like, let's not forget like what this is about. Us.
Yes.
We want attention. Give us attention. You want to be famous. Please validate us. Thank you.
Amazing. Yeah, no, we were talking about that actually, about how it's come up a few times now on the podcast in the last couple of how, we do this totally for validation because we just have low self-esteem. So
100%.
Yeah.
Low self-esteem gang.
Yeah.
Own it.
95% of people do things in life for that reason. I mean,
yeah.
Come on, let's talk about it.
Yeah, most of them don't have a podcast. You wish.
100%. So I know Zach and Shmuley, you guys know each other for like the last, 25 years. You guys both grew up in Cleveland, right?
More than 25 years. I just turned 29. You're still 28, right? But
Fuck you. What are you? I was joking. What are you trying to demean me? You're 29. What are you youngin', huh?
Have a full head of hair.
What are you? 28? Oh, what are you?
I hear now.
You see that?
I see it now that afterwards. I didn't see it right away, but now that you're saying it.
Like,
Listen, you're 6 feet tall with full head of hair. I got to win points somehow.
6'2".
You're trying to win it by growing a hair. I don't know, but you're trying to win it by growing a hair above your upper lip. You forget November ended?
We are in December now. It's true. By the way, can we just say one thing? 2022, the fact that it's almost over is absurd to me. Absurd.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, seriously, I don't think I've had a year so far in my life.
That's an interesting question.
Don't buy this fast.
Where were we all? Like, what were you doing when COVID first hit? Like, where were you at life?
COVID first
Like, you
hit.
specifically, but what were you doing?
Where was I when COVID first hit? Honestly, I'll be totally transparent. I was in a bad place in my life. I was not in a good place in my life. That's the truth.
I mean, besides for the COVID, before even COVID hit, you were not.
Oh, I was living in Rockaway. I was not living here. I was living in a much, much worse place and environment.
Buddy,
by the way, he lived in we lived in Rockaway. I lived on a stairwell. You lived in Rockaway. But I lived on your stairwell.
Yeah.
But he's moved up in the world 8 minutes away. Like, that's not a Jewish world. He's like, you're like pretending Rockaway is like this place that's like just far, like out like in Antarctica. Like, I wasn't Far Rockaway. It's like 8 minutes away.
Shmuley,
but it's a world difference.
Can I just go in on Shmuley, but in a very good way at the same time?
Absolutely.
In a very good way. When we were in Paraguay at the beginning of COVID, Shmuley moved from, he needed a place, whatever. I'm not even going to go into the story about when he got kicked out of his apartment. And
I think we've said it on the podcast.
And the landlord. We have a lot of new listeners, bro. A lot.
Don't die.
I'm not even going to go into when he got kicked out and his landlord took all his clothing and locked it up in their garage.
I'm not going to lie. I don't know these stories, so I'm happy you guys go into
We'll go into that maybe soon. We'll try to make it quick. But Shmuley, since he needed a place, called me up and said, can I stay in your apartment? And I said, sure, because Shmuley's always welcome. I did not think he'd be there for 8 months. But he was. That being said, we had no...
Said any relationship I've ever been in? Sure, I'll date you a date. Oh, I didn't realize you were going to cling to me and write songs.
No, but Shmuley ended up sleeping on a stairwell in...
What does that mean? A stairwell is like on like the top of the stairwell?
So we were in a townhouse. In a place called Salt Meadow, which is Beach 6th and Secret. And it was a 3-story townhouse. You had whatever living room, kitchen on the main floor, bedrooms on the second floor, and then the roof on the third floor. So it was just like, it was 3 stories. Shmuley was staying on the top stairwell. And he would get on the phone. Like, you remember the whole thing that was going on during COVID?
What was it called? House party.
House party. Okay.
Oh, God, yeah.
House party was a vibe. Everyone was doing house party. That was like how everyone survived.
Jews found house party. Like, they took it over like it was WhatsApp. They're like, this is ours now. Fuck off, guy.
No,
this
literally.
is our thing.
And house party was like the way you didn't go crazy, right? That's how you socialized because you couldn't leave your house. And Shmuley had no shame whatsoever. Like, he'd get on the phone with girls, like, you transfer them from house party onto like, via DMs or whatever. And
Seriously, that makes me sound so bad. Like, but
that doesn't make you sad. That's what everyone's goal.
No, but
that's what everyone's goal
even on
is.
the house party, that's what I was saying. Stuff even on.
You got Riz, bro. You got again.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Maybe not. I'm just saying that would be the goal if that was me. If you're any guy.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Whatever. Anyways, the point is that Shmuley had zero shame. They would ask him like literally like, where are you living? Yeah, I'm on my friend's stairwell. What are you doing? Yeah, I'm unemployed.
I'm still confused. What does that mean? You lived on a stairwell?
Okay.
A mattress on the stairwell.
It's a very simple thing. Let me explain to you what happened in a quick 3-minute synopsis. I've learned to be able to concise stories on mislabeled.
I need less than 3 minutes. Go.
Okay.
1 minute.
Basically, after Long Beach and that crazy house we've talked about, me and Label decided, you know what, we've lived with each other for 3 years. You know, I was in a certain place in my life. He was in a certain place in life. We got to move a block away from each other. Okay, we need space. So I moved to Beach 3rd in my own studio. He moved to Beach 6th with one of our roommates, another guy, and himself. I had a studio and a grandmother's, like, it was actually like a cute little place. And I was working at Harborview at the time. And I was in that space where, like, mentally, I was self-aware and I was emotional. Like, I knew everything was going on in my life, and I was like probably 3 or 4 years into therapy. But at the same time, I was still like doing like stupid shit where like I wasn't thinking through things and thinking through like concepts. Like, if my anxiety got the best of me, like I just made a decision that was whatever was going to make me feel good at that time. So work was getting the best of me. I just decided to quit one day. So I just decided, I was like, fuck it. Like no, like this is not how. I was like 23, 24, and I was just like, I've been here for 14 months and I just don't like it. My mental health is bad. And everyone's like, how are you going to pay rent? I'm like, Hashem we'll figure it out. And I was not religious, but I was spiritual.
He was a tremendous Bobby Dachon. Tremendous.
I was like, I'm barely keeping Shabbos, if at all. But I'll tell you what, God's going to find me rent. And he didn't. So
Big L God.
Big L God. So what happened is unfortunately, at that time, someone my grandfather had passed away. That's what happened. And I went home. And I hadn't paid my landlord rent in a month and a half. And she hadn't said anything. So I was like, okay. And when I went home, I didn't want to tell my family. I told my family when I went home. And when I went home, okay, and then I told my father, whatever. I got the shame off my chest, even though my dad's the greatest guy ever. And he probably would have helped me out 8 weeks earlier. But I got the shame off my chest. And basically, I get this text, and I sent her like half the money, whatever. I get this text from her that like, Shmuley, you haven't paid rent, and I'm so sorry, blah, 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 blah. I've been patient with you. You said that you're going to pay, whatever. And I felt so bad because I kept on saying I'm going to pay because I didn't want to like, I was leading her on, but in a way that I was like I didn't know that I was
trying to buy yourself time.
I was trying to buy myself time, but I wasn't even being mean. Like, I knew that I'm good for my money. I know I'm honest.
Right.
So like, I was like, okay, I'm going to get you the money. But she doesn't know me personally. She just met me, and she knows that I'm kind if you meet me in person. But she didn't know what I actually am like. Like, maybe I'm just another Josh trying to, take advantage of an old lady. And she texts me, I'm taking all your stuff out of the apartment, put it in garbage bags, and put it in my garage until I get rent. But she didn't say it like that. She's like, I'm so sorry, blah, blah, blah. I've taken your stuff lightly and put it nicely in my garage. And I was, the fuck? And I was just like, so you took my shit for ransom? Like, what is going on?
Yeah, so it's holding you hostage.
Right. And I was 20. And at that time, I was also learning from Label how to be assertive. So like I was like
he was learning really good healthy skills.
like be assertive. Like she can't just do that to you. Like she can't just and it happens to be he's right. And I had a brother at the time. My oldest brother was like, she can't do that to you either. Like as much as like okay, like yes, you did something wrong, but she can't just take your stuff. Like it's illegal in every place. And it was an illegal apartment. Which is how eventually I got my stuff out of the garage, which was basically telling her, if you don't take my stuff out of the garage, I'm going to call the police. And I felt so bad because I'm really not, when it comes to life, I'm such a lover, not a fighter. It hurts me when I get in like real controversy with people I don't know. With people that I know, I love getting in controversy and fucking them up. But people I don't know. Anyways, 4-minute story, long story short. I called Label and I said, and Smiley, give him credit too, and Label's roommate at the time. And I said I needed a place to stay. Label let me stay on his couch. I slept on his couch. It was a 3-story thing, as you can see over here, Zach. Other people can't. There's a little landing in between the
So
floors.
you're on the landing.
There's a landing in between each floor. So on the top floor, there's a landing before the porch, before the roof, and on the second floor, there's a landing in between the two stairwells. Yeah. And I put a mattress on each one. I wanted to feel vacationary. So like if that's a word, like sometimes I slept on the top, sometimes I slept whatever I was feeling,
What was the word that is called when you change your room around?
Oh, feng shui. Feng shui. Feng shui.
So did you hire an interior designer?
By the way, now thinking back on it, too, like you Label and Smiley just basically woke up every day and like, where's Waldo? Like, is Shmuley in this mattress? That mattress? Is he in? I could have fell asleep on the couch. The couch was super comfortable. But anyways,
I've been saying this for a long time. Label deserves some sort of award for putting up for Shmuley.
Yeah. My bullshit's been remarkable.
You deserve a Purple Heart or something.
I really do. No?
Yeah, you're in my bull. Yeah.
Can you just give me credit?
I give you 1,000,000% credit
for the friend that I am.
You're unbelievable.
Tap on the back.
What are you talking about?
If shit ever really hits the fan, which you would know, I guess, because you're the one currently paying me, I will be staying here.
I think you know that what my answer would be. Sure.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
But also going back to it, as the amazing friend thing, like back in the day, it was like. There was like this thing, like, okay, not everyone loved like Label's personality, right? It can rub people the wrong way sometimes. So I don't know. So it was like whenever like it was like when I was like 23, 24, it was like if someone questioned like my friends were Label, like I had to defend my own. It was like twofold. One, I had to defend like I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? You guys don't know him. Secondly, I had to defend like my own thing. I was like, he's my best friend. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Your own insecurity.
Yeah, my own insecurity. At this point, like, I just don't even get.
If someone rips on your best friend, sometimes you take it as like, wait, what's that say about me?
Right, exactly. At this point, like Label just like mentioned, I'm just like, I don't like. It's not even a thing to me. Like, I know how great you are. It doesn't make a difference to me.
Thank you.
No, legitimately, like, that's really like it's an all love podcast. Like, that's what it is. Like, it doesn't. It doesn't need to. Like, I don't always have to. say it, but like it is what it is. Like it's just like when someone comes up or says anything, like if someone says something about the pod, how it's like, and we've had this conversation, personalities coming off or this or that. I'm just like, I just don't. Like, I'm not even getting in the argument with you. Like, who cares?
I think Label's proven that he's a mensch.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sure if I've proven that.
Yeah.
Whatever. With time, maybe. But either way,
time.
all right. Enough about me. So Zach, for
what's up, man?
the audience and our new listeners, because
I new listeners.
let's just be clear. Our pod is exploding right now. I'm saying whatever. We're just amazing like that.
We're like an 11th grade kid.
And hold on, Shmuley, thank you so much. Very necessary. Zach, could you give everyone a little background about who the talented Zach Adler is, where he's from, just a little bit about how you got to where you are right now?
Yeah,
like, where'd you
sure.
grow up?
Can you talk into the mic a little bit because your mustache is muffling it?
So I grew up actually devout Catholic in the South in the 70s. By the 80s, I was dancing for Michael Jackson. Background. I was there at Neverland Ranch when all the shit went down. Wasn't cute enough, though. And
You're actually doing a good job.
okay, no, I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. Out of town gang.
Gang.
Went to Chafetz Chaim Yeshivas, for anyone who knows what that is, for many, many years. Got a degree in psychology. I live in Crown Heights, Brooklyn, and I have a lot of hobbies. And none of them make money, but I have a lot of hobbies.
Excuse me, you're making some money on your hobbies.
That's true. No, the podcast is more than hobby.
Right.
It's my life's work.
Yeah, podcast is good.
My life's work. That's my life's work. I'm just getting a little emotional. Sorry.
Shmuley, a little background from you.
Yeah, it's underrated. Me and Zach grew up together, like literally crapping each other's diapers. Like we grew up together.
You say this before, and I don't like it. I don't like when you say that. It's a weird thing to say, bro. We crapped in each other. That's a weird fucking thing to say. I'm uncomfortable, and I need to bring it up. Never say that again, please.
What would you like me to say? How would you like me to say?
You could just say we were in diapers together. You don't have to say we defecated in each other's diapers. It's a weird. Am I wrong?
It's a funny way of saying it.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
I agree with you. It's a little bit weird. My brain is not like normal. It's the SSRIs. They're fucking.
We grew up in Cleveland. What is something you think people get wrong about Cleveland? Let's say a lot of our listeners are New Yorkers, right? What do they get wrong about Cleveland?
Well,
Label, have you ever even been to Cleveland?
I was at Cleveland once actually. I was there on Thanksgiving 3 years ago. I met Shmuley's entire family.
I brought Label home.
To meet your parents? To meet the parents? You guys were official?
This is actually hilarious because I met Shmuley's entire family, and up till that point, they probably still feel this way. But his brothers, I don't know. His father's the sweetest guy in the world, so I don't think his father ever.
Stan the Man? So
Stan the Man is great. I don't think he ever passes judgment on anyone. But Shmuley's brothers
are dicks.
No, none of them are great, but they're not non-judgmental like my father, like completely non-judgmental.
Can I just say
go ahead. Yeah, labels.
Let's just say they weren't particularly fond of my influence on Shmuley. Okay,
Correct.
Let's just leave it on that, which I can understand.
Okay,
I can understand why if you're a pretty straight shooter type of person and you're not a very outside the box thinker, well, you'll be like, this guy is just crazy. And every time they speak to Shmuley, he's traveling to another country when he has no money and no functionality in his life. And it only seems like I'm pushing him further away from normalcy. That is so I could understand where they're coming from. They didn't know me personally. I also remember the time when his brother Avrami was dating, and I so graciously let him stay in our apartment, which Shmuley and Stan the Man were helping pay for. So in fairness, maybe I had to let him, but he definitely thought I was insane. He asked me, he's a dentist. He asked me the last time I brushed my teeth. I think I said 3 years and 6 months ago. Like literally that's what happened. He's a dentist. He's like, he would not like talk to me the rest of the time he was there. He's like, you're just like, you're psycho. But yeah, so but I met the Warrens, and I still think they think better of me now, I think. And I'm being serious. I don't think they think badly of me in any way.
Sure.
But yeah, that's when I met the whole Warren Mishpacha, and that's when I was in Cleveland, which I left, by the way, after 36 hours. Like
and your label drove in. It wasn't a fight. He drove in, and he was quick. He drove out.
36 hours is the right amount of time to spend in the Midwest.
I was excited to go, and I spent Shabbos, Thanksgiving. I got there Thursday night, and we did Thanksgiving meal together, which, by the way, I had never had a Thanksgiving dip in my life up till that point.
Right, you go over yeshivish.
Yeah, so Thanksgiving was something we didn't do.
And in a non-loving household.
So, no, stop.
It was.
But I did Thanksgiving dinner, and then Saturday night I was like, yeah, there's really nothing going on here. Like I met
Wait,
the
what were
fam.
your thoughts about Thanksgiving dinner? Did you feel guyish while you're doing it, or you liked it?
No, I didn't even. It was just a meal. I didn't like even think about it, honestly. I wasn't like involved in like. I don't even know the background.
I mean, hug him of the day.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't like, it was kind of like imagine a non-Jew coming over for like a sukkah's meal. Like, oh, did you feel? Like, no, I don't know.
Well, I mean, they would probably notice the hut.
Right, exactly. But let's say they came over for a Shabbos meal. Did you feel? I don't know. I was just there. We had turkey.
Well, listen, this year I plan on celebrating Christmas, and you're more than welcome to come.
Cool. I don't even. What that means? What do you do on Christmas?
I just watch Christmas Disney Channel movies.
I thought
I've been celebrating Christmas for years.
Exactly, that's all I do.
I
don't get a tree or anything.
I thought you just dressed up as like Santa Claus and asked for presents or something.
I don't have the body type. I wish. I don't have that dad bod.
I hear.
Also, I don't like kids that way. That I want them to sit in my lap for money at the mall.
That's
well, outing every Santa Claus at the mall.
It's a fucking weird job. There's better ways to make $10 an hour. Okay.
Well, it's an easy job though if you're of that body type. If you're a 62-year-old guy or a 38-year-old trucker, and you have the body type,
just wait some tables.
That's
walk okay. So that's your deal with Cleveland. I think what people should know about Cleveland is the level of. Can we talk about the level of avodah zarah that occurred in Cleveland during the LeBron era?
Oh yeah.
Well, you guys were diehard LeBron guys.
I mean, Shmuley more than I was, but like
I was
Cleveland.
Diehard, bro. Every morning I woke up, I checked the paper. Every morning, I knew the stats.
Yeah, I know you know the stats.
Yeah.
There was a picture of him on like the biggest, one of the bigger buildings in downtown Cleveland.
Yeah,
it's like the biggest poster I've ever seen in my entire life. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's a famous one. They ripped off the day that he announced he's going to Miami Heat. It was like a famous video.
Right.
They were so upset. I do remember that actually very clearly. That was a famous pick.
I want to make one response to the label thing.
Please.
Is that just for my brothers? Legitimately, I love them. They're very, very great guys. You know them. Rummy and Yitzhak are great guys. And they had, understandably, like going back to it, I think that we were talking about one time when we threw the beer pong for cancer tournament. And it's like looking back on it, like how not, it's like, you have to understand, like, you know exactly how I grew up. And like, I am the most outlandish in my family. Yes, I have. In terms of how I go about my life, like everyone in my family has personalities and we grew up in that type of household, but like, Yitz is very talkative, Rami more reserved, but I'm the most outlandish when it comes to like if I need to be able to do my thing. Like I'm the only one that's lived single in New York for 8 years. Everyone else was kind of like more streamlined. And it makes sense at the end of the day. Like they all went to college, they got their biology degrees, they're normal guys, like they doctor, go to shul on Shabbos, like whatever, like married in shidduchim, like all like very streamlined. So like I at 21 just coincidentally at 21 when my life went like this.
And that was the year, just so we clarify, that he moved into an apartment.
I had moved out of Lander and I moved in with Label.
And it was the effect was immediate. Like
the effect was immediate.
It's funny because when your like worst living situation was when you were on the windowsill. I'm assuming that's like the worst living situation you ever had. Not the windowsill.
No worse.
No, I lived in the Scottsgate Institution's basement.
Yeah. No, that was way worse.
That was way worse. That was a
disgusting basement. Like really, like.
Wait, how old are you at that point?
That was the year after. No, I'm sorry. That was the year before. That was the year before.
I really thought
actually a year in between. It's all one kind of between 23 and 25. I'm not joking. It was after Long Beach, after Frockaway, after I got kicked out. At some point in between there, I lived by Label for 6 months, and I lived by Svush and Skotsky
in a disgusting basement.
In their basement for 6 months.
It's just funny you say that because that was between 23 and 25.
Yeah.
Between 23 and 25 was also my year of the worst living I've ever done in my life, which was right after I left yeshiva. Which, by the way, is a testament to how badly I wanted to leave yeshiva, is that I was willing to take this apartment, and I was happy to move in. I lived in Label's. What is he? He's your brother.
He's my uncle.
He's your uncle. I lived in Label's uncle, who was in Cole at the time. He was a Cole guy in a couple of time. I lived in his basement. And I'm not going to talk about the family, don't worry. But this basement, first of all, I was paying $500 a month to live in one tiny room with another guy, 2 beds, same.
You're talking about in the
studio. I live with Dovey
Bond in the alleyway.
We cooked on the washing machine on a George Foreman on the washing machine. That was my kitchen. We didn't have a kitchen, and one of the rules that we got to live in that apartment was it was their laundry machine because it's their basement and it's an illegal apartment. and they can just come down whenever they want at a moment's notice. One knock, coming down for laundry, quickly grabbing boxers, putting on shorts, throwing shirts on, like, oh, I come down, like.
Bro, your trauma from yeshiva is so severe that you were willing to do all that to get out.
Excited to live there.
Oh my gosh.
Excited to live there.
What a time.
That was my shitty New York living experience.
Where did you go after that?
I had a normal apartment in the Atria in Queens for a year, and then unfortunately, I got kicked out of an apartment in my first apartment in Crown Heights. I got kicked out of after 8 days.
Way to go, bro.
I didn't even do anything. I went to introduce myself to the upstairs neighbors. There's these 3 girls, and I told them, hey, I might want to throw a party one time. Just so you know, like, are you okay with that? I'll try to have it done by 1. I think that's like a normal time, and it's going to be once in a while. They immediately called the landlord. The landlord called. I was dating this girl then, and I was on a date with her, and I get a call from the landlord. He's like, pack your shit and get out of my property.
Time out. Did you sign a lease?
No.
So what kind of, hold on 1 second. Why would you leave?
I shouldn't have left.
Of course you shouldn't have left.
I didn't know. I'm not street
This
smart.
is the non-assertive part. This is the Cleveland part.
I'm not street. I'm not street.
We're not street smart. By the way, this is really what it is.
They tried pulling that shit on me in Long Beach. You could ask Shmuel. They tried pulling the same shit, and I literally told them, I'm like, there's a lake. We're on the water. There's like the water there. You could dive in there if you want. Like that was pretty much my response.
I wasn't holding by that.
By the way, this is the difference between Cleveland and New York. Me and Zach grew up that like if an adult that is, you know,
if an adult tells me to do something,
I'm just like, all right, well, you New York, you have to fend for yourself. When I grew up, like I couldn't fend for myself. You know, I went to Target with my dad. Zach went to DSW with his mom. Like this was just like that's all we did. You're doing your own thing when you're 14, 15 years old, like fending for yourself in Marine Park. Like it's a whole different.
I don't know why you have to say Marine Park. That's a random.
Yeah, because all I can think about is you as like a teenager playing basketball. That's all you did. That's all you did.
That's fair. Yes,
right?
That's true.
So I'm just like,
but that being said, you're right that this is a very, very big difference between Cleveland and New York. I mean, listen, in New York to survive, you got to be a little more aggressive. With that being said, I did grow up. I'm an intense, aggressive person. In case you didn't know this, and I'm losing my train of thought.
Yeah.
But the point is that I know it's part of my DNA. Like, yeah, when someone, my notion just in general as like being who I am is like, I don't do something unless it just makes sense. So like, not that I think about things. I'm just like, I guess maybe too many people told me to do too many things in my life and I just got pissed off.
That didn't make sense.
That didn't make sense. And now I'm just like, anytime someone tells me to do something, my automatic reaction, if you're trying to shove something down my throat, is just going to be like, first it's just going to be a reaction of like, no chance in hell. And then I'm actually going to do the research to find out precisely what you're allowed to tell, what my risk is, what my downside is of not doing something. So a landlord, a landlord in New York City, especially in New York, getting someone out of an apartment in New York is hell. It's almost impossible. There's a reason why no one buys real estate anymore in New York because it's so tenant friendly. Bro, people have been
squatter laws.
People are in apartments for 2 years, 3 years straight without paying rent. They'll show that they paid $5 though a month. The judge is like, I've literally been in court when I was learning real estate. The judge will be like, he made a $50 payment last month. He's showing that he's trying to pay. The guy is $26,000 in debt over the last 2 years. I swear. And they're like, he's making the effort. You now have to pay $22,000 in the next 6 months. It's just like a never-ending. Wow. It's so liberal.
Isn't there a?
That's my point. So someone telling you to leave.
I definitely wasn't trying to take advantage of the guy, but like it was so abrupt that it just caught me off guard. I was like, I've never been kicked out of anything. I've never been kicked out of shit. I've never got kicked out of anything. It was the first time I ever got kicked out of anything. I was like, what did I do? Like, I didn't even throw a party yet.
It actually is funny because I got kicked out of everything in my life.
That's what I'm saying.
Not just that. I still remember the time I got kicked out of Gift World, which is like Judaica Plus in Queens. I got on the phone with Joey Chestnut last week.
Drunk.
I wasn't drunk. I was totally sober. I spoke to Joey Chestnut. How amazing is that?
That's crazy.
Oh, right. We didn't reach him when we were drunk. We called him.
We called him.
You guys called Joey Chestnut drunk.
We were blitz. I was out, and
also it's hilarious is that I called him and it goes to voicemail, and it's like, you know, the Verizon thing is like the automated thing that you have the opportunity to leave your name. You're just like, you have reached, and then you say label Wiener, you know, and like it goes on, then goes beep. So as it's going, Zach goes, Joey Chestnut. Within a second, all of a sudden you're Joey Chestnut from Joey. It was just hilarious the way it like. It was an
telling label.
Let me call her right now.
Let me call him right now.
For sure, yeah.
There is no more random celebrity on God's green earth than Joey Chestnut.
Hold on, let's play this. Yeah, no, go on.
Wait, you're actually calling him?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, no. Let's listen. If he answers, it's the best thing that ever happened on this podcast.
Stop bothering the poor guy.
Hold on.
Unreal.
Hold on a second. He's not going to pick up. It's 11:30 at night. There's no way he's picking up.
If he picks up, it's be the greatest thing ever. Even if he doesn't.
You have to hear the voicemail. It's hilarious.
For those who don't know, Joey Chestnut.
We're going to get to who Joey is.
Yeah,
you could Google while you're waiting for this. Yeah, he's probably never going to call me again.
Please leave your message for
Joey Chestnut.
He sounds like a guy that just devours hot dogs.
Anyways, so I challenged him. Not challenged him. I made him an offer, and I said part of this offer is that you have to have a hot dog eating. I want you to come on the pod. But in exchange for coming on the pod, I want you to have a hot dog eating contest. You versus us three. That's the only way we do this.
Oh, 3-on-1.
3-on-1, baby.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
I was just imagining, I'm still imagining the sight of Joey Chestnut with like a timer and Joey Chestnut just chugging hot dogs and us three
By the way,
stuffing hot
and
dogs.
I know
down our
exactly
face.
how this would work. Label would get through a good 17 to 19. Now I'm just like, Label can, if Label had his mind put on it, 1 second. Label had his, I'm telling you right now what would happen. If Label put his mind to it, I really believe Label could throw down 17 to 19 hot dogs. I'd be like 4 or 5 in and get a stomachache. You'd be like 1 bun in and you'd be like, I have diarrhea. Gluten.
1 bun, I'm defeated.
1 bun, I'm
It's amazing. Yeah, Joey wasn't down for it. He said he's like too pro. He's like not gonna happen. I'm like, why not? He's like, pro. I got
Wait, we gotta say, for people who don't know, he's
the hot dog
either
eating
the
champion.
most winning or the second most winning. I think, I don't know, maybe Kobayashi.
No, Kobayashi does not beat Joey.
So Joey's the #1 most. He has won the most times the American hot dog.
He's the undefeated hot dog champion of the freaking July 4th.
He is defeated though.
Kobayashi might have beat him once or twice, but
No,
no,
of course.
Yeah.
But it's 17-2. Like
He's just the most random celebrity whose number you could possibly have in your phone.
The Tiger Woods of hot dogs.
yeah,
Which is a weird thing to be.
it is random. I wonder how you like figure out that you're good at that. No, I'm serious. How do you like?
What do you mean? There's a very easy way to find out you're good at that. Thanksgiving dinner rolls around and you demolish the entire
No.
turkey.
You think that? I don't think that's just what it is. He's a regular guy, bro. I don't think he eats a ton on a regular sitting.
Here's my thing.
I don't think it's like he all of a sudden just on a regular sitting, like on a Tuesday night when there's no contest, he just eats 22 hot dogs, and now I'll eat 70. Like, it's not how it goes.
It's a muscle that you have to do.
muscle, yeah.
I don't want- we've
already talked about this on a
no.
different
1 second, this happens to be very funny. It's like, what inspired Joey Chestnut? Like, very simply, like, is that Label's right. Like in a certain regard, like you have the people that are coming up. Like, even LeBron talks about like, oh, MJ was my idol, and to get out of the inner city, blah blah.
Who
Or
was
like,
his
you have
idol?
It's like, who is Joey Chestnut? He's like 13 years old, sitting there like eating like Lunchables. It's
true.
And like he's there, like it comes after school. He's like, Mom, I'm gonna do that when I'm older.
100%.
Mama, I want to eat. I want to eat, Mama.
It's like the question is where did he like figure out, like, Label, you were hitting on it first.
Yeah, of course.
Like, where did he figure it out? Like, at what point in life did he figure out, like, was he 21, 22 and just he had like a rager at a college party and he like someone's like, yo, dude, at this party you just threw down like 18 hot dogs. He's like, I can make money on that. I can monetize that.
I think he visited a farm and he saw one of those troughs that the animals eat out of, and he's like, that feels like home to me.
So, like, as we know, I've been off the pod for a little bit, and besides off the pod, I've also been out of my friends' lives for the past like 2-3 weeks. I've really not been around. Like, since I started my new job a month ago. So, Labes, what's happening? Talk list. What's going on in your life right now?
What is going on in my life? I've been spending, I will tell you straight, an inordinate amount of time and focus on the podcast. I do have a rule. I've told this to Zach, that I spend 6 months, like grueling months, on any new concept that I take on, to see if it's a viable option.
So I don't have a girlfriend.
Probably why I got the joke. Well, both are true. Your joke is true, and probably the reason why I don't date enough is because all I do is work. But both are true. Yeah, no. So I've been spending a lot of time, and I'm balancing the podcast with real estate. And it happens to be the market is very slow right now. So I know I'm not allowed to talk about anything real estate related on pod. That's all I'm going to say.
Literally on death penalty.
On death penalty.
Don't you dare.
I didn't realize this was
But
like
the point is that because of that, it's been a little bit helpful in the sense that I could spend a little bit more time on the pod and not feel like I'm, losing money, so to speak, and losing out on the real estate stuff. But yeah, no, I feel like we're making a lot of progress. I'm actually proud of ourselves. I think we're doing great work. So
I'll say it again. If anyone does anything in their life with the amount of obsessiveness that Label does this podcast, you will be successful, and that's why I believe we will be successful.
I really appreciate that. At the same time, it does come with its downsides.
Yeah, I've talked to you 3 times in the past 3 weeks, and each conversation has started with, Can you give me your thought on this thing about mislabeled?
He's obsessed.
I'll be
He's
honest.
obsessed.
My level of focus is
It's phenomenal.
It's on not just that. It's
Autistic.
It's autistic. It is autistic.
It's on a level that's just.
It is on the spectrum for sure. But it's probably the best word to use is unimaginable to the average person. I would definitely
100%. I'm happy to be used
why
to
do you
it
like
at this point.
man?
Why do I like what?
Why do you think it's just a chemical, just a natural thing, or do you think that something happened like that?
Why am I
are you
like-
able to be, yeah.
Why am I this obsessed, or why do I like the podcast?
No, it's a likable podcast.
obsession.
Why are you obsessed?
There's multiple reasons to that. I think there's a level of vulnerability with this podcast that no one has the ability unless you're doing this yourself and putting out creative work in general for yourself. There's a level of vulnerability that is palpable and anxiety provoking within you. You are actually sharing your life, sharing who you are with everyone that has an opinion on everything you're going to say, how you come across. And there is a level of wanting to control and be focused to the degree that to make sure you come out looking as good as possible. That's step one, which is, I think, a very natural response. Also, there is a deadline for me on this podcast, as I've shared with you and you, where I want to be at a certain place with the podcast, and based on based on how that's going, which is basically a 6-month timeline, I will decide if I want to go further. That being the case, I am all in for those 6 months.
In.
I will not be this obsessed, or I cannot be this obsessed. I will implode if I'm this obsessed for years on end. It's not a normal.
You will literally die.
So
Yeah.
shameless plug. If you guys don't want Mislabeled going anywhere, fucking comment, like, and subscribe. You don't want this.
Oh, you mean if you don't want it going anywhere, like not happening anymore?
Correct.
Yeah.
No, there's a lot of people that don't want it to go anywhere because they don't.
Oh no!
like us.
Those people are just insecure.
If you want us to
in themselves.
succeed,
if you want,
it
if
really
you
helps.
guys want Mislabeled, like I have legitimately gotten
Guys,
love.
Label
and-
hasn't slept in 6 months. Please help us succeed.
It happens to
Label,
man
what do
in
you
need.
do?
Can I-
Yeah, no, go.
No, it happens to be. I have been a lot. The feedback's been crazy. I mean, I met someone tonight. I was in Doma tonight. Someone came over to me.
About a shameless plug.
Someone.
I just shameless plugs his life.
What?
Just go.
No, it's the name drop for Doma.
Oh, I'm sorry. This guy, I was in Doma. I was eating dinner. I don't know what the hell I'm doing wrong here by saying where I was eating dinner.
Yeah, everyone just eats dinner at Dome on a Wednesday night.
I met up with a friend.
Zach, when we meet up, where do we go?
Realize we like giving you a hard time.
By the way, we love you.
Whatever. Here's the story. Okay. Bottom line, I meet up and this guy tells me, you should just know something. I think I'm saying the story correctly, but it definitely goes along these lines. I was in Israel 2 weeks ago and I'm sitting, I have cousins that I don't know very well at all, but we were in Israel and we met up with them. Sitting in a taxi with them, and the guy is listening to something, and he turns to me and says, knowing I'm an American and then I'm a firm guy, saying, do you happen to know, he's like a European Breslov guy, never lived in America. Do you know these guys, this Mislabeled podcast? This guy knows of me. He's like,
What? I don't know the story. This is great.
this happened tonight. This happened 2 hours ago.
Oh, right.
And he's like, who are you talking about? He's like, Mislabeled. Like, this guy's Label Wiener, Zach Adler, Shmuley Warren. Like, why do you know these artists? Like, this guy's like, I follow the podcast.
Yeah, I actually checked the stats. We're polling very well with the European Breslov cab driver community.
That and Indonesians.
We are killing it in those.
You know, like that guy Zalman's like randomly like in Malaysia, he's like a celebrity. Like
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
like a celebrity in Antarctica. Like
We're the #1 podcast in Israeli cabs right now.
And then, by the way, I was also standing on the side of the street on Avenue M with, the apartment by Ocean and M. And there's a Hasidic guy that used to work with one of those people there, sees me, doesn't see them, sees me, like, Hasidic guy wearing Streimel the whole 9 yards. You from Mislabeled?
you from Mislabeled?
This is on Thanksgiving night.
I love that.
And I'm like, yeah, like I was shocked. I'm like, yeah. He's like, the Kosher Dills episode, fantastic. I'm like, what is going on here? Literally in my head. And he goes to mention the previous 6 episodes. And he listens to every single one. It's like the nanny is amazing what she knows about Yiddishkeit. Bro, this guy, and I was like, this is weird, bro. Life is getting weird.
Happens to be shameless plug for us again. I got 3. I'm just thinking about it in the past week. My friend's little brother, 22 years old, not religious, lives in Brickell, Florida. Randomly, he never hits me up. Randomly texts me today. He's like, "Yo, Shmuley," and I grew up. I was this kid's big brother, and he's like, "Yo, Shmuley, by the way, your podcast blowing up all over Miami." This guy's like he works in what are those places
I don't want to make
called?
this sound like blowing up Miami, like we're
No.
featured on billboards yet in the middle of South Beach.
But
It's more of a soft explosion. It's a
no,
small-
and then I'll tell you 2 other stories. I was at basketball this past week. Random 35, 40-year-old guy lives in the Rockaway from Brooklyn. He's like, you look familiar. You on that blog like that like the podcast? He's like, yeah, that mislabeled. I was like, yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
I was like, I told him actually straight up. I'm like, bro, you don't even know like how much I appreciate you like noticing like the fact that it's me and like she's like telling me like people don't realize how much we've said this a million times, how much like that love means to us. It's awesome.
But here's what's funny. Is that love means a lot to you, and it means something to me as well, but it means a lot more to you than it does to me. And I'll tell you why. It goes back to what you were asking. I don't rest till the job is done.
Right.
And as Kobe would say, the job ain't done.
Right.
4,000 followers or whatever. I don't even think we have on Instagram. Bro,
I'm just grateful for every single one.
I will be happy when I am in a very, very different spot. I'm not going to share what I'm
we're very
thinking,
different,
but
we're very different about the podcast.
But
Me and
Label,
you have
I
very
got a
different-
question for you.
No, one more thing. Just one more thing.
Yeah.
Is also, I've been at this job for a month, and my coworker works with me. So I saw her WhatsApp profile picture, her husband. I was like, I think I know your husband. Like, I think I know who he is. And we got in a conversation for like 2 or 3 minutes. And she's like, yeah, you look familiar too. And then she's like, and then I realized why you look familiar. Like, you're from the podcast, from Mislabeled. I was like, you listen to Mislabeled? She like lives in Muncie. She has a kid. Like her husband, like, yeah, my husband's put it on here and there. And I was like, wow.
I'll tell you something straight.
It's crazy.
We're getting right now on average.
It's really crazy.
2,500 to 3,000, I'd say, right? 2,500 to 3,000 audio and views combination between YouTube and audio. Okay. With that being said, and I say that on average because Non-Jewish Nanny got 30,000 hits on YouTube alone, and Leah Forster were 48 hours out, and she's at 6,000 roughly views on YouTube alone. We're getting, let's just say, on average by 2,500 to 3,000. I don't know that many people. So, like on a day-to-day basis in any way. So there's got to be a solid 2,500 of those that are listening that I don't really know. How many people do I know? 500? Like,
and if you don't know that many people, I definitely don't know that many people because I know 10% of what you know.
There has to be people listening that I don't know who they are. So anyways, yes, Zach, you had a question.
I wanted to ask what you do for the stress. And I'm assuming the answer is, like you said earlier.
You're sleeping. Get up. Yeah, go on. I have clothing for you. Go talk.
Whoa.
He's falling asleep. I need to wake him up. I'm not letting him fall asleep on this pod.
No, but wait.
Okay, fine. I'm gonna fucking kill you, man.
That was
Bro.
crazy. What just happened?
Yeah, go on. I'm listening to you.
I was gonna ask you, what are you doing for the stress? And how, and specifically, I want to know how many ice creams you've bought from 7-Eleven the past 3 months.
Great question.
You took that in like it was like Elon Musk getting asked like about 20. He's like, great question. Ice creams. It's a doozy.
How many calories do you ingest now
I'll tell you
at
straight.
midnight?
Ice cream happens to be a weird habit for me. I'm very all or nothing relationship with it, kind of like I am with different other things.
Really?
And for some weird reason, sometimes I get a craving for ice cream at like 1, 2 in the morning, and I have to do an Uber Eats because I'm too lazy to get out of my car. And I Uber Eats, and I don't know, I'm just hungry, I guess.
That time of the month for label.
I don't know what it is, bro.
I've been in the car with you and watched you put down 7 different, maybe 5 different ice cream things. You'll get like a cone, a bar, a this, a that, and it's like one after the other. It's like a machine.
4 for 1.
It's a machine.
I know Shmuel's laughing because we were in Israel and he was making so much fun of me. Like, he didn't let me eat the ice cream. We were in Israel at the beach in Tel Aviv, and I bought, like, it's a typical run, honestly, for me. I bought 5 or 6 nutty cones, whatever the hell they're called.
Me and my friend Shulam bought one and go back to the beach and eat the ice cream with our drink. Label eats one, goes back, eats another, goes back, eats another, paying them one by one.
Bro, they're driving me crazy.
Because that's not a normal thing for an adult human being to devour
Why?
Actually,
5
really
ice
in the
Why
range
not?
for ice cream.
Why not?
What do you mean, why not? It's not normal. You should.
Why do I have to be normal?
It's
Yeah,
not about, no,
exactly.
I agree. But if you're not normal, I'm gonna make fun of it. Like,
I'm gonna make fun of
if
it.
you're not gonna be.
Are you king shaming his ice cream?
Yeah,
fetish?
if you're not gonna be satiated after 2 ice creams, like 2 is your limit. The second you go on the 3rd ice cream, as an adult, a 3rd ice cream bar at the beach, within the course of 3 minutes, you have to get shamed. Something has to happen to your life. There has to be a change up.
Okay, maybe. Fine, I'll accept it. smoked probably a bunch of hookah. In fairness to me, I haven't smoked cigarettes in some time. I've managed to go this
Also,
whole
in
time.
fairness to you, you pack a good hookah.
I do, right?
Pack a very. Was not a big hookah guy, and this podcast has made me a big.
Ladies, listen up. I'm just saying, if you want a good hookah, and by the way,
Which is, by the way,
Label
what
knows how.
Label knows
Lay
what the women
pipe.
look for. Label knows. That was good.
and by the way,
That was good. Well, this is what all women look for in a man. They look for, the two main things: financial stability, and can he pack a good hookah? This is what women are after.
I mean, I do think packing good hookah adds to being very chilled and having a good chill. Not being chilled, it adds to a good chill.
Yeah.
That's a good.
And financial stability does allow for people to have comfortable lives. I think those are two pretty integral things, actually, if I'm being honest.
All right, I want to do
Yes.
quick questions. I have
Yes,
a
go
couple
ahead.
quick. Okay, right. First, these are all quick questions. You have to go like first answer that comes to mind. Celebrity crush.
When I was a kid, probably Kate Upton.
Okay, and now?
I don't even know.
Weird to go with as a kid.
I'm trying to think. Honestly, no, because I'll tell you straight. I have to think about it. I don't think about this very
Fine.
often.
Next question. Would you ever move out of town?
Yes, of course.
Have you thought about where you'd want to move out
Yes,
of town?
I'm
Do
gonna-
not say Texas. It's Texas,
No.
isn't it?
What?
Miami.
No.
No, I'm gonna move to Boca.
Boca.
It's basics. All my friends are moving to
Basics.
Boca.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basics.
Where would you like me to say? Montana?
No, it's fine.
Say, what are my options?
Favorite designer?
What, you think Gucci? Louis?
Oh, yeah.
Suit Supply, probably.
Suit Supply.
Yeah, I'm a
I
Suit
was gonna say I wasn't even a designer. I was gonna say his favorite shop is Suit Supply.
Yeah,
Hey,
right
Suit
now.
Supply. Suit Supply could be one of our first advertisers.
I'm wearing this. This is Suit Supply. I'll tell you straight. Suit Supply is my go-to. Everything they make is for me. They made it for me.
Okay.
And the second that he got into it, by the way, he bought every sweater. Every sweater.
I know. He went up so
Label.
hard.
I'm not joking. He got in Suit Supply. He got an order, and he ordered them all in larges and mediums to see which one would fit in every color. And he put every single. It was like a runway show. it was one of the weirdest bonding experiences I've ever had with him.
It is true, because I need Shmuley's advice. I'm like,
He wanted my advice on fashion, whatever, and like.
I
he
also
bought
did-
every color.
How many are we talking? How many toys do you currently own from
I think 16.
That was honestly 10 more than I was expecting.
Oh, no, I bought 16.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
And he bought them in 32 because he bought 2 different sizes.
Wow.
No, but I returned the ones I didn't want. But I have a rule in general when I buy things. There's nothing worse than buying something doesn't fit and buying them one at a time. I literally make sure
That you have a lot of them.
no, I buy 3 sizes of every single thing I want. Because once I'm returning one thing, I may as well just return everything.
Right.
Right? This is again. This is called being smart. There's nothing less than being
all
smart.
or nothing.
No. This is called
No,
being
I actually
smart.
hear that. I hear that.
Why
No,
would I buy a size 10 in a shoe from Gucci when I don't know if it fits? I'll buy the 9.5, 10, 10.5, 11, and 11.5. So one of them for sure fit.
Well, okay, so
Number
Suit
two.
Supply, I feel like you like the fit, you like the like they make. You buying Gucci? Let's be real. You
Yes.
buying Gucci because you actually like the design. You think it's more comfortable. You buy it because it's the flex.
No, it's
So
flex.
what's company you think is the best flex though? Like what is the biggest flex? Gucci isn't really a flex. I feel like Louis is a
Yeah,
bigger
no,
flex.
probably Louis. I mean, I'm wearing. I think I'm. Yeah, probably Louis. Yeah,
Louis.
probably.
Yeah. wearing
Or the
Louis
red
right now.
bottoms.
Yeah, man,
Or the red
What are you
bottoms.
wearing right now? That's Louis.
Wait a second.
What do you mean? I'm wearing a
belt.
Louis belt.
Or the red bottoms.
Yeah.
Or red bottoms.
Oh, Louis Vuittons.
Yeah,
Louis Vuittons.
Label's rocking variations of flex right now. He's got the red
Variation.
bottoms.
There's levels to this,
There's
baby.
levels to this game.
You know something? I'm hoping for my own self that this is a stage that I'm going to go through and I will not care about soon. There was a piece of me that hopes that. It's not the end of the world if I
Nah,
I
don't.
got more
good.
questions for you. I got more questions for you.
Yeah.
The hairstyle you have now, do we see a change happening in the future? Because I look at old pictures of you. This is my favorite Label hairstyle of all time, and we need to get a picture of this, and I'm going to have Danny put it in, our editor. This is before I knew Label as a human being, and he shows up to like a Kiddush Chavetz Chaim, and the bro is rocking what I can only lovingly refer to as the Syrian asshole, which is just... tons of fucking hair gelled straight back with the kippah on top of the hair to keep it flat down. Probably one of the ugliest things a man can do. And
one of the ugliest things a man can do, and the ugliest thing a white man can
it's
do.
just one of the few haircuts in the world that just like really clearly states like I beat my wife. You know, it's
In fairness,
I've
Zach,
never not lied to the IRS.
Zach,
It's like,
in fairness, I had here in 11th grade, unlike you.
Hey!
I'm saying I wasn't using no Rogaine shit. All right.
Okay,
Yes. Now that you roasted me, you could go on.
fair,
But
fair,
in fairness, I will be
will
honest.
you ever go back to that hairstyle?
That will never ever come back. No, that will never come back. You will
Thank
never see
God.
that again.
Thank God. Good riddance.
I can tell you straight. Listen, what was I? I was 17, 18. I was honestly going through a difficult time in my life. I was for sure, dealing with. I'm being serious.
You had it at 21 when I met you.
Bro, take Xanax.
Whatever. During
anything.
that time, did I? By the way, at 21.
I
don't think I
lost
had
it.
it.
You lost it in the
Maybe
middle of the
the-
tens. The first time you got the big haircut was in the middle of the tens.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Bro, listen.
Maybe. Okay, but either way, but I was already much more out of that phase.
For sure.
It started when I was like 18.
If you're going through a hard time in your life, you got to do what everyone else does, okay? You got a porn addiction, you smoke a lot of weed. Don't do that haircut ever
So
again.
believe it or not, I didn't do any of those. I really didn't.
Those would have been better.
A unique character.
I was, by the way.
No, you are.
I didn't. I'm not saying I never watched porn in my life when I was that,
Bro,
but I was not a
heroin
porn
would have
addict.
been better than that haircut.
Huh? What do you say, heroin?
I'm just saying there's other coping mechanisms.
I don't know.
I get it. You're in. I feel for you. I know you're in a bad time, but there was just
I don't know
better
what
things.
whatever. I can't get into the specifics. I don't even honestly have to think about it. But yeah, no, I probably was like dealing with confidence issues and shit, and that was it. That was like
now
my
you're
way of
making me feel
expressing it.
bad.
No, you don't have to feel bad at all. I'm fine getting roasted. I can handle a roast.
Yeah.
By the way, in the first 2 podcasts we shot, I roasted you a couple times, and your feelings were getting all butthurt. I still remember. And Farron was like, and I'm like, dude, we roast on this pod. That's what. That's
No,
how.
I just did the ball comment well.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
but that's not fair because you're literally you have to take it well after you're mid ripping me. Like I ripped you out of the blue then, and you were like, oh whatever. But yeah, no, that's the answer.
What about the beard? Are we keeping the beard?
I by the way,
I feel like you're getting a.
I'm starting to love the beard.
There we go.
It's crazy. I thought I would never like it ever.
Label's been clean shaven his entire life.
It's not even compared.
ever since Israel. That's
There are people that have the contrast of color that I have in my beard, like red and brown here. Because I don't feel like I've seen that. I was thinking about
Mine gets. I happened to shave just literally 3 days ago. I just took it off. I'm going to grow it back.
yours is the same color as your hair.
And when it gets a little longer, it gets a little reddish. But
But
yeah.
mine is much more red.
Yeah,
like right off the bat
but
is
that
red.
happens. That happens. My father had brown hair when he was younger, and his beard was a little more reddish.
Got it. Very cool. Yeah, Zach. So, any other questions?
No,
No, but I got questions for you, Zach. I'm like,
All right, yeah, let's
firstly,
go.
I was thinking about this. Whenever you come into our house for a podcast,
Your feet are in my domain right now.
tall people problems.
All right, let's go.
No, whenever I don't know what to expect. Meaning, like,
Wait, you don't know expect when?
attire wise.
Oh, attire.
Like meaning one day you have a big yarmulke, next day you have like a leather yarmulke, then you have no yarmulke, one day you have earrings, next day no earrings, one day you're wearing like hipster clothing, the next day you're wearing like a nice like not turtleneck, but like a nice how do you pick your day?
Please define your decision on style when you wake up in the morning.
It's actually a very good question.
Like, you know
I
what I'm
will
saying?
say,
and also the face, and it all goes into
it's
one thing.
okay.
Your facial hair, everything. It's always different. Always, every week, Zach can be.
I figured
you
it
can
out.
Mask. You can mask. You're a different character every week. In
I
this
just
regard.
figured it out. When he's wearing the boat shoes, he has only the mustache. When he's wearing the wide, oversized T-shirts, the earring is in one ear. There's cheshbon to this whole thing.
Yeah.
No,
Go on, Zach.
honestly, I don't have a funny answer. The honest truth is, I've gotten this comment a lot, and when I was in my early 20s, it was like really aggressive because I wore like different types of kippas, and then I would randomly sometimes just have tzitzis out. Like I looked really sheepish one day, and then I looked completely, not religious the next day. Nowadays, first of all, having one, like we're past that as I think in terms of like style and the way people dress. I don't believe in having an aesthetic. I think that I love switching it up.
Yeah, I'm asking how you decide every morning because I'll tell you, I have two aesthetics personally, right?
Yeah.
Like mine is either the preppy kid, or like or I'm like jeans and a t-shirt guy. Like those are the two.
Yeah.
Like with like
You
combat
dress
boots.
barstool chic.
Correct, exactly. I mean that's it. Jeans and a t-shirt.
Like
or,
what you're wearing
or
right
preppy.
now is like a very barstool shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
What am I?
You're class. You wear classy clothing.
You're
all class. You're almost. Oh yeah, you're Italian. You're all classy clothing.
Italian business guy.
Italian business guy. It's classy clothing.
Okay.
Even when you go out in your jeans, you're wearing like your Balmain shirt. Like you're not like I'm wearing an H&M long t-shirt. Like I dress and legitimately when
Just
I go.
because you're poor.
No. I would. hey. No, like legit. Like I either dress like I'll dress like LA like kid pop starish if I'm going literally like.
That's a very
long
Justin
t-shirt.
Bieber.
Correct.
Shirt.
Exactly.
Yeah. But like not
Exactly.
current Justin Bieber, like 2008
Correct. Yeah.
era Justin Bieber.
100%.
I would to call the two styles I wear the most to like aesthetics is either like the oversized t-shirts because I came from the dance world, like the breakdance world, and like that was always about like skinny jeans and like very oversized t-shirts. Like
By the way, I love that look. I wear
Yeah,
that.
it's a hip hop look. The other look I go for is like you're more like indie rock. So I have Doc Martens and I wear like dirty Vans that like I let them get beat up, and then like the earrings go with that, and the dad hats, and like the all my t-shirts are old. They're all vintage.
Very different hats. You have the sailor. You have the sailor hat. You have the short. The short
actually a
front
big
cap.
bucket hat guy.
The bucket
and then I
hat.
found out that there's an Instagram called Jews and Bucket Hats. And it's my goal in life to get featured on their page. I've never been featured
That's
yet.
awesome.
It's like my goal in life. Okay, is that your only question?
No, that was me. I had just been thinking about it like today. I was like, I hadn't been on the podcast. Like, what do I have like a question for Zach to ask?
I think it's fun though, because I think women get all the fun with like women can look drastically different day to day
Right.
based on makeup, hair, this, that, the other thing. Like my face hair is like I love playing, and glasses also. Glasses are you're
Right.
wear your glasses
Yeah, yeah,
sometimes. It's awesome to be able to look completely different week to week. I love it.
And I don't know about you, but I agree with you. Fashion for me in a certain way, I feel different on how I dress. For sure, right?
Yeah.
So like, depending on how I dress, how I feel that day when I wake up, like if I'm feeling a little bit more immature, like I'll wear more immature clothing. I feel a little bit more like, you know, baller, like I'm a manager of billing at my assisted living. You know, 14 of them. I'm a shameless plug. But like then I'll wear, you know, like a nice sweater, like nice, you know, my nice tailored pants, you know, whatever. But yeah, I agree with like that's, but still, it's just the difference, the wild difference every single day is. It's got to be a lot to wake up to.
I do sometimes have paralysis. I look at my
Right?
I have that
on those
also,
days.
yeah.
I put on sweatpants and a t-shirt because I'm just like, fuck it, I can't.
Also,
I can't.
my thing, honestly, with clothing is that during the day, from 9 to whatever, to 7 or 5, whatever, while I'm like working in the office, I just dress comfort. Like I don't give a damn what I'm wearing. I throw on whatever it is. When I show up, when I go out and I'm going to something, a dinner,
dress up,
a
yeah.
podcast or whatever, when I need to dress up, I need to look good. I make sure I look good. Otherwise, I just throw on. By the way, I wear the same sweater sometimes, 2-3 days in a row, the same. Like I'll just
not
wear,
a big deal.
I'll wear the same. Well, I don't sweat in it, so it's just. But I'm saying it's quicker in the morning when I want to move ASAP and get my day
In my humble
started.
opinion, you can wear anything 3 days in a row except for underwear.
Yeah. I agree.
My humble opinion, you can do that as long as you're staying inside.
No, but that's my. Zach, can you tell me a little bit like what?
I was about. Wait, I don't mean to cut you off, but I was literally about to ask. Like,
Guys,
I don't know if we were thinking along the same line, but we were talking about like getting to know like the person. Like, I don't think the podcast knows that you outside like your personality. Like, what do you do on a daily basis besides the podcast? Like, what?
Oh, sure.
What do you do with your with your time? Like, what do you?
Good question.
Yeah.
So the podcast honestly takes up a good portion of my time, which I'm happy for it. And like, for me, I really love that it takes up a lot of my time because I've worked a lot of jobs. I've never had the ability to. It's creative work.
Never had such a good boss.
Never had such a sexy boss either. But it's not just that it's creative work. It's that me and Label are building this. Label, obviously, mostly, but I'm very integral.
I didn't say that.
Yeah.
No,
I'm giving you the credit where
I
credit's due,
appreciate it, but
yeah, no, me and Label are building this. I've
Right.
never built something. I've worked for other people. I'm co-building something right
Yeah.
now, and it's fucking exciting
Yep.
to wake up in
Love
the
it.
morning and be like, bro, I'm building something.
Yeah,
This is my
it's
shit.
yours.
Love it.
It's my shit. So I love that. What else do I do with my time? Honestly, sad but true, I spend a ridiculous amount of time in physical therapy, fixing like neck stuff. Yeah.
What happened?
I've been dealing with like neck and shoulder pain for like 2 years, like chronic.
I didn't know this.
is it an anxiety and stress related thing, or just
100%
like back pain?
somatic. First of all, I have shit.
Did you do sorrow no?
Yeah,
That's probably everyone's first
everyone
question.
asks me. No,
So what's the
I
answer?
have very bad posture, so part of it is purely physical. I've had horrendous posture my whole life, so I'm fixing that. But yeah, bro, it's every not nice comment on YouTube, guys, goes straight to my fucking neck. It goes straight
remember,
to
you
all
know
the
what?
stress.
You know where the posture, where I see the posture not being
Not being great. Where
when you sink.
when I sing,
Yeah,
interesting.
if you ever look at your body, and I'm saying this from the video that I saw of you as a kid in Yeshiva Boys
Oh,
Choir.
you're going to YBC.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
That was a video someone sent.
Yeah.
It's the exact same thing.
I had bad posture as a kid.
And when I saw you at Rafi Breeze, it's the same thing. You
It's very relaxed.
you bring your shoulders down a little bit.
Yeah,
You're not
yeah,
sta-
You're very. You're
you like
posture's
chill. You hold the
very
mic like
correct.
this, and you kind of just like yeah, exactly.
I bounce.
You
I
bounce.
bounce.
Yeah. Everyone knows the Zach walk.
I have the walk. I have the walk.
I don't know if you can see it on the podcast, but Zach's like.
I bounce. I'm very rhythmic the way I walk. And honestly, I love that about myself, but unfortunately, it's also causing tremendous pain. So I'm in a lot of
I'm sure that was caught on something.
I bounce.
That's a bounce. Like you ever watch it, you'll notice it now. You'll see
Yeah.
it. It's like it's like a little. It's like a little kid with swag.
It's like an Oompa Loompa. Amazing. Great stuff.
The other thing that I do, which I'm really, really excited about, is I built a little home studio in my apartment. I got mic set up, monitors, all this stuff. Yeah, and I work, honestly, I'm working with GarageBand because I wanted to get good at GarageBand before I moved to Logic. If you guys know anything about music making, Logic is like the It's like what you make music with.
No, I didn't know any of this. I totally want to come
spend
to your,
at least
apartment now.
I spend
to
at
use
least
you.
an hour every single day on music. I have 1 or 2 friends that come over all the time. We'll do like little hip hop songs and rap over beats we find on YouTube, but we also write our own music. So I'm like, right now, that is like my main project outside of this podcast. Is I'm
That's
working on music.
sick. And I didn't know this.
It's like my favorite. There's nothing that brings me more joy.
Can we write music?
I would love to. It's all I want to do. It's all when I'm done with work. The only thing I want to do is get into my studio and make music.
In Crown Heights. So
Yeah,
like after
'cause I
work,
have a
why don't
third
I ever
bedroom.
come over and frickin'
Dude, you're invited.
what the hell? I didn't know you had it like this set up.
Whatever you're thinking in your head, it's not fancy. It's a home. It's a tiny little home studio, but
Bro,
it
you
works.
have a mic?
I have a mic.
You have a mic, you have an instrument in your apartment?
I got guitars. I got
Bro, what are we doing?
I got keyboards. Yeah, we're ready to roll. Come over. Anyone who's watching the pod want to come hang? Let's
what
make
are
music.
we doing, Zach?
I got weed. We're good.
That's a very, very dangerous.
I know. I just invited several thousand.
That's
people.
awesome.
And not just that, the people that are going to show up are most likely going to be some very odd, weird people.
Good.
Crown Heights, what are you
As long as
talking
they're
about?
creative. As long as they're creative. No, I honestly find that I
so-
write better in a collaborative. Like I write better with someone else in the room, so I'm always down.
I still remember when we were doing throwing our parties, especially in Long Beach. We were just like, come on. Like we would just like send out to like 400 contacts. Let me tell you something. Out of like 250 people that would show up, 125 were normal, cool with it people. You then had like another 75 that were like, okay. And the remaining 50 was just like, it was horrific. It was like, girls were literally like, girls would come and could you please get this weirdo away? Like, there were just guys that were like, when you're too easygoing about who you invite to things,
Honestly, I actually do want to bring this up on the pod because I think it's a problem in like the film world, especially like the more like out there film world. Like a lot of places, they pride themselves on being very open to everyone. But then what ends up happening is like, I think it's maybe every community, but especially in like the film community, there's a lot of like weird, never married or like divorced, like
It happens
middle-aged
everywhere.
guys.
Yeah.
And they unfortunately, like, look, they're people too, and they deserve to have a good time, but not if they creep out mostly young women, mostly women who are way too young for them.
Bro, this happens at
It
all.
happens
this happens
everywhere.
at all
Every frum event.
But it also happens.
Doesn't
at all-
make sense that it's more of a
no,
frum
it's
thing
not
than
more of a
anything
frum thing. It happens at tons of dive bars. I'm saying,
Right, but the thing is, a dive bar, it's almost like, okay, that'll happen in a dive bar, but it's weird that it's happening like,
it's just close to home.
I dive in at a shul that women have told me, like, I don't want to go to shul because of how creeped out I get. It's like, that's
it
very
happens.
sad.
But we have a smaller community, so they don't have a place.
Yeah.
Everything is so close knit. Everyone goes to shul, so they're in shul.
I had an idea.
They can't just,
This is something I actually really believe in,
But it
and I
happens
want
every
to put
single
money towards it.
community.
And label, if you ever want to like help make this happen with me,
for sure.
I want
Always.
to bring in a dating coach into Crown Heights and into the 5 towns and into the Upper West Side. Doesn't need it. Maybe it does. Crown Heights for sure needs it. Literally, bring in someone who can talk to Jewish men about how to approach women, how to take rejection well, how to read body language. These are things that
I think
I don't judge guys.
What about
I think
women?
I'll be honest. I've
you're
met
not-
way
you're-
less like women who make people feel uncomfortable. Like, I'm sure there are. I'm
that's
sure there
very
are.
different. It's just that. That's
how to react, how to interact.
Oh, sure,
interact.
100%. No, I
just-
want them to be both
Hold on.
genders.
What are these
Yeah.
dating coaches doing exactly?
Teaching
Your idea?
people like, again, I think that
Etiquette?
there's not etiquette, like ways to read body language, ways to understand when you're being rejected in a soft way. Sometimes guys don't realize that, like, oh, that was a no, but they're being nice. There's like basic
I
things
will-
that if you don't watch movies growing up, you don't.
happens to be. This
You're
is
not
all.
socialized.
This is everything.
Do you think this would make?
100%.
Do you think
Yeah.
this would make for a difference? A dating coach
I
could
do.
make for a
I do.
difference.
I do.
Not in the from world.
I think you just need to keep doing it, fuck up a bunch, and then you start figuring it out on your own.
Like, I don't know. It's some guys just they're not learning.
They would never learn. You think
They
a
would
dating,
never
and
learn.
a dating
Those-
coach?
those-
Hold on. And a dating coach is going to teach them?
No, because I'll be honest. I think there's a difference between fucking up and not realizing what you did wrong, and having someone very gently and sweetly tell you, "Hey, I study this.
Zach,
Let me
most-
explain to you."
Zach, you're
most of these people are.
If you're not getting the
you don't think
hints-
they have friends. You don't think they have friends that are not doing what they're doing. Like I'm saying that are doing things that are not
maybe
like
I'm
them.
coming
They have
from-
plenty of friends that are doing things that are not like
I'm just
them.
saying, if someone
and they're
doesn't
choosing to be
naturally-
that
I feel
person.
like I'm coming from here. I'm coming from a different thing. I'm pretty good with women. I wasn't always. Of course, I wasn't always. I didn't talk to any girls until I was in my 20s. I went onto YouTube and watched a bunch of videos on like how to be charismatic, how to make someone, how to be interesting in conversation.
on the go.
People do learn from clear instruction from people who have information.
Zach, hold on.
Most people
Hold on,
will learn
Zach.
throughout experience. Also,
Couple-
this is
of
a
course.
pretty.
Hold on. Here's my take. Okay. socially with a person and a normal person, yes, you're right. Maybe you could get a dating coach to avoid the first year of you figuring it out on your own. That being said, you could also do exactly what you just did. Go to YouTube and figure out all these things for yourself. You could also do that. For the people that
You're mentioning, the people that he's mentioning.
For the people that you're mentioning, bro, it's knocking a hammer on their head. It's not going to make it. Yeah,
I guess
bro.
I'm just not as much of a defeatist. Like I feel like we can reach.
No, it's a personality issue. It's social. It's not being socially aware.
Label, you were having problems with this, and you did a full 180.
Dude,
He learned from experience, and he has friends around him that.
Right, he had someone.
So these other people have.
A lot of guys.
You're also missing something.
I don't have friends.
Hold on.
So they need someone to come in.
I would very much say
reasons
my
for these
issues
things.
growing up, yes, there was a piece of it that had to do with the fact that I grew up not talking to girls like you, but there was a much bigger issue behind it as well when growing up. I think my own issues contributed significantly. I think my intensity contributed significantly to it. I think my anxiety contributed significantly to it.
Doesn't need a dating coach, he needs therapy.
Right, exactly.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
So you don't need a dating coach.
The queer people that you're referring to that just don't get the message, I promise you, Lisa Elephant coming over to them and coaching them on dating is not making
You're
a fucking
curing the
difference.
symptom.
Wait, does Lisa Elephant talk about this stuff?
No, but just Tom, you're curing the symptom. You're fixing. You're giving someone Advil for a little bit. You're not. In 6 months from then, when he gets into an issue in the relationship, he has no idea how to deal with it either. It's a therapeutic thing.
It's very sad. No, I feel bad for
It happens in all
people.
communities. It stinks.
It does. It really. And by the way, those guys usually end up going down the wrong. This is we talk about the incel thing. When guys do not do well with women after years,
Yeah, it's terrible.
Right.
it literally turns them into very not always. It can turn them into very hateful people. I've seen it for sure in the frum community.
For sure.
For sure, a problem outside. I'm not blaming
Hateful
the
or
frum community.
just weird also.
Weird and hateful.
It makes you feel
insecure.
They end up on these
unvalidated.
People don't want
these
it.
horrible YouTube and Reddit wormholes, and they end up on these chats with people just just hating women and the game's rigged against us and and it's really just
Have you ever seen the
it's just you needed social
have you ever seen the guy they all turn into the guy that got into the fight at Bagel Boss?
Well, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Do you guys not know this thing that happened 2 years ago? The guy that this 5'2", 5'3" guy was in Bagel Boss, and he was trying to make an order or something, but he caught someone in line, and someone tried cutting him in line, and he went ballistic. Do you guys really not know what I'm talking about? It went viral.
Okay, I forgot.
Bagel Boss
I
in
don't
New
know.
York.
Either way, all right. Shmuley, Zach, it's really late here. I'm going to Miami with Zach tomorrow morning.
Right. I got work.
As mentioned, you have work, so it is time to wrap up here. Thank you, everyone, for listening.
I'm going to find a dolphin.
Hope you guys enjoyed. And yeah, we'll be back next week. We have a fantastic episode coming out next week as well. Really good one.
Emir Hashem.
So yeah, we'll be in touch. Peace and love, guys.
Appreciate y'all.